It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome into Veterans Issues. Appreciate you tuning in this week. This is the last show of the year, 2017, so appreciate you tuning in. We're going to cover some stuff in depth. My guest is me. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues, and today I'm going to go more in depth with some things that we don't skip over during the week and just touch on. So you hang in there and get you a pen with it. We're going to go. We're going to do an in-depth show of Veterans Issues today. Before I get started in the show, I do something. I always forget to do these, but I want to do some shout-outs before we end this last show of the year. I want to shout out to a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Darlene Battles. She lives in Gulfport, Mississippi, and we go back a lot of years. She's a very talented singer. I started to say country music, but she's gospel also. But she's a very dear friend of mine. I want to give Darlene a shout. She watches us here on YouTube, and appreciate that. And Kim McCarson, a circuit court clerk. Kim is just a blessing to this community. And to Ed Gibson and Linda Newman, you're always there for us. And they were in the studio last week with Santa here. So for Ed and Linda, we appreciate you. And Darlene, I'm glad you're watching this week. So anyhow, also you might notice I've got an I voted sticker on. That means I did vote. This is Tuesday. We're taping on Tuesday. And I did vote today, and I hope you did too. So by the time you see this, it'll all be over. But our country really needs people to get out and participate in the voting procedure that people fought and died for. Now, we still got time when you see the show. The Toys for Tots can always need more help. If you can't give a toy, one that's never been opened, but if you can't give a toy to Toys for Tots, the money is acceptable, and they help a lot of people. I personally know some folks that I've got them to help, and they wouldn't have had Christmas otherwise. So if you can help them, they're located down by the Minton's Trailer Park, trailer sales. They're on Highway 78 in the Coldwater area. So think about Toys for Tots before Christmas time, and maybe there's a kid out there that's going. And I'm talking about last week, a family that dislocated by a domestic abuse situation, and they were not in any system that would help those kids get Christmas if not for Toys for Tots. So they're a blessing. There's another place, if you really want to help somebody this year that helps others, is the Salvation Army. And I remember that story Eli Henderson always put out there about, I think he had 13 brothers and sisters, and they didn't have Christmas without the Salvation Army. So that's another good organization this time of the year to keep in mind. And I want to suggest something to you. Some folks I know are doing this. Go by and that's not a plug for the dollar store or Dollar General store or whatever, but while you're in there, you can pick up these little stuffed animals and for $1 or so. You can also pick up some socks, toboggans, gloves, and when you see somebody on the street, you don't have to ask them their situation. Just pull up beside them in your car and offer them some gloves or a toboggan or something. It's cold weather out there, and anything you can do like that, you'll bless them, and you'll be blessed by doing that. So just think about that the next time you go by Dollar General. Stop in, pick up a bunch of stuff, and if you see some kids, just pitch them, hand them a little stuffed animal, something that make their day, make their Christmas a little bit better. Now, for you veterans out there, this is something that I was amazed to find out that 3 years since it was passed, that some of you are just now finding out that you can have the word veteran put on your driver's license. It'd be in the right-hand corner, and all you got to do is when you go to renew your driver's license, have that word, take a DD-214 with you, and for free they will put the word veteran on the driver's license. And if you want to go now, you can go, but it's a charge of like $18. Now, why would you have that on there? One is during the holidays, veterans get into all your state parks in Alabama for free by presenting status, military veteran status. If you, a lot of your box stores, big box stores, they give 10% discount. If you buy a $300 item, you got $30 knocked off of it, off the top, just for presenting that card. Also, places like IHOP, Golden Corral, Applebee's, and places like that, all of them give discounts with that proof. So next time you get your driver's license renewed, or if you're getting a new driver's license, have that, take that DD 214 and get that put on there. And again, I'm amazed that that people don't know about it, but when bills are passed in Montgomery, that they don't always, that information don't always get back. If I have time today, I'm going to talk about some of that, about bills. I want to touch more into the DD 214. You hear me talk about have it DD 214. First of all, if you happen to pass, the funeral home will ask your nearest relative, whoever's handling the arrangements, would he want a military funeral? You say yes. The first thing they're going to ask you is, do you have a DD 214? Now, he'll know where it is, but he also needs to tell you. And veteran, if you're listening to me and watching, make sure that somebody in your family knows that file cabinet, where it's located, or where you keep your DD 214. And that will, and if you've got a burial policy, all of that, the greatest gift that you can give to a family member is to give them the information it takes to take care of your business after you left this world. So the DD 214 is a very, very important item. Know where it is. You just don't need to know where it is, but the family needs to know. So whoever's going to take care of your arrangements. That's the reason I say I keep harping on a DD 214. So, and if you got somebody out there, if your arrangements, well, I just said that if you want to give a gift to your family, take care of business, that includes writing down instructions of what you want to happen after you leave here. Who you want to conduct your funeral? Who do you want to speak on your behalf? Those kind of things. It's not an easy item to talk about, but for the veteran, you can sit down and type that out, those instructions, and tell somebody, say, I've got in an envelope somewhere, I've got my instructions, and when I pass, you open that envelope. That's one way of doing it, and it'll make it a lot easier, because once you have gone, it's not a good time for a family to be searching and trying to figure out what to do. It's a great gift to take that extra step. I've done it, so it's not an easy thing to do, but I felt better after I did it. So you'll do the same. Let's see. I got some notes. I want to make sure I touch on all these things. If you go someone out there that's this is veterans issues, but we don't always have to be about veterans issues. Anything in the community that maybe would benefit veterans and their family, that's good too. So if you know somebody out there that would make an interesting guest, I have 52 guests a year. I do all the booking. So if you know someone out there that would make a good guest, that you want their story told on here, you let me know. My information is always on the screen here several times during the show. And just give me a call. Get on Facebook. That's where a lot of people contact me. And let me know who that guest is you'd like to see on here. You'd be surprised how much is out there about people you know, but you don't know their history. So if you think there's somebody interesting that make a good guest for the show, Facebook me, let me know, and I'll get in touch with them, and we'll have them on here maybe. So let's see. I got a lot of things to talk about the holidays. That's what we're right in the middle of them right now, and it's really important. So I want you to really get that pen and just make notes about these things, because we're going to have to go to a pause here and come back. That's what we're going to talk about the holidays. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Appreciate you sticking here with me. As I was saying, we're coming up on the holiday. We're in the holidays right now. We've been in them for a while, and there's a lot of things that happen. First of all, a lot of you do not drink. but you're at a company party or you're at a friend's party or a family party and somebody brings out a little eggnog with something in it or a little wine or whatever, that's fine. But if you're not not even just a casual drinker, but if you're not a drinker, folks, this will get you before you know it. I mean, it don't take but a couple of glasses of it. And then you think, well, you're not used to it, so you don't know when you got too much. So you get behind the wheel, and then we read about it in the paper. So this is what I want you to do. If you're invited to a party, and it's a see, a lot of parties they say no, non-alcohol party, but if it's just a regular party, and you know that there'll be alcohol there, make sure that somebody in your party is a non-drinker, that designated driver, so to speak. Or remember that the amount of food you eat and how accustomed your body is to alcohol has a lot to do with how you can handle drinking wine or whatever the substance might be at the party. So that's how people get it. Those are not the only ones that get in trouble, but those are the people I don't want to meet out on the highway, and it can ruin a whole lifetime for a lot of families because you just want to join in and blend in with the rest of the group and just start and drink at the same. You see somebody over there is drinking a lot, and they say, well, she can do it, I can do it. He can do it, I can do it. But maybe their body's used to it, and they know when that limit is. So don't get caught up in the festivities and overdo it and become a statistic. We don't want that to happen. So that's there's not much festivities once someone loses their life or gets crippled. So let's see what else I got. Oh, this is being in the military and being away from home at Christmas. There is no worse time for a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine to be away from his family. So if you know of a family locally that their loved one is serving overseas or maybe in another place, it doesn't have to be in a war zone. It can be in Germany, Thailand, or someplace like that, Korea. Think about that family, the separation situation between them. It's not just the loneliest part for the soldier or sailor, airman, or Marine, but the family, the spouse, the children, everybody that's left here. Christmas is the best and the worst time in the world for military families, and been through it, been there and done that, as they say. And so think about them, and if nothing else, just in your prayers, when you do, remember that there's in them hills in Afghanistan and they old dugout places, them guys are laying out there on the ground with a piece of canvas between them and the ground, and they're that's all about 911, what happened 9/11. So think about that. Keep that in your mind during these holidays. Don't just be about buying this and buying that and get this. Some of us take the time to think about our troops that are serving wherever they might be. Let's see. I wanted to talk about the VA director was here a couple weeks ago, Mr. Smith, and he talked about the renal transplants over there for the 9 transplants they've had at the VA hospital. I've watched that situation, and I've asked people to give me information, complaints, praises, things like that about the VA. And I still encourage you to Facebook me or call me or whatever. If you've got a complaint, a legitimate complaint, don't just give me a blanket, I don't like the VA. But if there's something in particular, you give me a call and I'll see what I can do about it. I'm with the State Board of Veterans Affairs, not the federal, so I have no authority over them, but I do know that there's some good people over there, and all of them that I know are good people. The VA has done a face change over the years. I was there back in the 60s. I know what a bad VA is. And I can tell you, we are fortunate to have what we got at our clinics and at the VA hospital over in Birmingham. But to have 9 successful kidney transplants at a VA hospital is just awesome. I mean, you would expect that at a UAB or a place like that. St. Vincent's, but you're talking about a VA hospital, and they're all. When I said successful, they are all successful. So this is we're blessed with things like that. And while I'm on that, I want to talk about the choice card. I just hit on it every week about getting a choice card. Call this number. Call 205-933-8101. Tell the operator you want the choice program people. When the voice recording comes on, just press 0 for the operator, or O for the operator, and tell her her or him that you want the choice card people, and then tell them you would like to apply for a card. I've got one in my pocket, just a little ID card with my name. It's got my number on there, and if I needed to, let's say I needed an eye appointment, I can call that number and say I needed to see an optometrist in Oxford or Anniston, Alabama. Give them a card number. They would ask me which one I prefer. And I could tell them the name of the optometrist, and if that is one of their people in their program, they'll make me an appointment. They make the appointment themselves. They pay the bill, the whole works. I've done it. It works. It's a great program. I don't have to drive all the way to Birmingham. I would get travel pay for driving over there, but just to be more convenient, that's what the choice program is about. And I've got other friends here that use it for other things that are approved. So you get that choice card. It's something that is not hard to get. If you're drawing disability or you're in the VA healthcare program, you can get one. So get that card. It's very important that you do that. And let's see. I don't get to talk about everything about the DAV van. The DAV van leaves Oxford at 6:30 in the morning, 5 days a week, and it takes veterans to Birmingham VA Hospital and brings them back in the evening. The drivers are volunteer drivers, and if you'd like to be a volunteer driver, you let me know, and I'll put you in touch with the people that handle that program, because it's an awesome volunteer situation. You get more out of it than you put in it, I guarantee you. And it's a great blessing for the veterans and for yourself to do something like that. And so I'm not going to give you all the details of who's in the program, but just give me a call, and I'll hook you up. So I want to remind you about that. Let's see. We have I'm going to talk about some news you can use here in a minute, and I'll mention these folks again. But this Wounded Warrior, Alabama Wounded Warrior program is a great program out there for those of you that need some help. And I'll give you some more information when you stay tuned here with me in just a minute. But I wanted to make sure I got all these things that I had wrote down here today. And go out there, and if you have any on the driver's license, veterans things, if you have any problem getting that used at a place, that if they don't accept it, you let me know that too, and we'll give them a call. I had to do that one place. It worked out real good. Now they accept the veterans driver's license thing. So we're going to take a pause here and come back with news that you can use. And I hope you got something out of this part. We'll be right back. Just get the pen. Welcome back to Veterans Issues, and I appreciate you tuning in this week. And I appreciate you tuning in all these weeks during this year. Like I said earlier, this will be the last show for 2017. We'll be back about the first week of January. We'll take a little time off here and enjoy being with the family and those kind of things. But I do appreciate you. I see you downtown, and people come up to me and they say, I really like that guest they had on your show. Or one of the things they let me know they watching the show is they'll get them a pen. They say, I got my pen. And so that's okay. You can whisper to me that you watch the show. I know you out there watching. So anyhow, the things I want to talk about, one of the first things is what I just said, Toys for Tot. They are in business on 78 Coldwater by Minton's trailer sales, mobile home sales. I don't want to call it a trailer, mobile home sale. And it's not too late to get out there and take some toys by. When you go shopping for yours or someone else's, pick up an extra one and drive by there and help them out. The numbers, read on what you have the pens. I'm going to give you a couple numbers here. Both of them are very critical. This is the one that's at the White House. It's for veterans, and it's for staff 24/7. So it's a 1-855-855-948-2311. 855-948-2311. You got any vet thing to do, any veterans need, that's established by the president at the White House. There's another for the crisis hotline. Now, this is the one where the veterans in stress or whatever, and it's 1-800-273-8255. When the voice recording comes on, press 1. That's 800-273-8255. Now, 22 veterans take their life every day. We lose 22. When you go to sleep tonight, 22 veterans will have taken their own life. So think about that. And if you write this number down and you know your neighbor, your friend, your buddy has a veteran that's having some probably difficulties, going through a bad marriage or going through whatever, and they're feeling bad about themselves, give them that number and tell them if they get in trouble, don't do something bad, just go ahead and call that number. Now, I mentioned the Wounded Warriors Alabama. That is, you do not have to be a wounded warrior to get help from this organization. Here's the website. It's all one word, Wounded Warrior Alabama at gmail.com. Wounded Warrior Alabama at gmail.com. The phone number is 256-458-2715. That'd be Bill Williams, but Ross Winter is the guy that put this together, his own funds, and they're doing awesome work out there helping veterans. And like I said, you don't have to be a wounded veteran to get help from them if you need it. Again, they said the clinic nurse at the clinic, I can't use her name because it's not been approved by Birmingham, but the nurse at the clinic, one of the nurses told me they're still having a lot of flu problems there. This stuff going through it. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to preach to you about getting a flu shot. I do get it every year. I'd rather take the chance on getting it than not getting the flu. But whatever. But washing your hands is the best thing they can give. Watch it when you touch doorknobs or anything like that. We're running out of time. Again, the firefighter memorial is going to be complete here before long. You got wheelchairs that you don't need that have batteries at work. I need them for veterans that are not authorized to get them through the. Think about the veterans tag, not the veteran tag, law enforcement tag. When you get your tag renewed, you don't have to be a law enforcement to get one, but it helps out with the memorial. And let's see who we're going to salute this week. We're going to salute all the people who helps with the Toys for Tots program and all those who donate a toy. So we're going to go for this year, 2017. We'll see you back here in 2018.